Welcome to Women of the Metaverse. I am Cheryl Laidlaw.
I am Angela Harkness. We have been and are still on a journey to discover the Metaverse, Web 3.0, NFTs, and anything that we are required to know to join this world.
From this podcast, we will help you to unlock how the Metaverse is going to impact your brand, your business, and even your personal life.
Join us as we take the mystery out of this new digital universe.
Welcome to episode 2 of Women of the Metaverse. In this episode, we're going to talk about what is the Metaverse. We're going to do this introduction to the Metaverse in 2 parts because there is so much to talk about.
If you talk to 10 different experts, they will say something slightly different. Michaela Tanaski Holland, who is a VR creative, strategist, and impact producer, described it as a digital reality that's an extension of your physical reality, which is an interesting way to put it. But when Cheryl and I talked about it, we basically said it's a digital universe that you will be able to step into and interact with family, peers, and potential clients, which is what we're sort of interested in. So,
Absolutely.
Cheryl, how do you see the Metaverse affecting you and your business?
Okay, so if you'd asked me this a few months ago, maybe weeks ago, I probably would have been quite confused and wasn't ready to answer that question because I wasn't sure, if I'm honest. But as Angela and I did purchase the Meta Oculus 2 last week or the week before, we've had a little insight as to what it's going to be like, and it is phenomenal. And as soon as I stepped into this, virtual world, I could just imagine designing in the future. For me, I'm going to have 10 screens up with different controls, and I'll be able to stand up and draw onto big canvases. So I reckon that software and the flexibility and being able to work on multiple projects at once will be my future.
Yeah.
I think
That sounds amazing.
that's how I think it's going to go. Yeah. What about you, Angela?
So I have always, even when the websites in their current form came out, when anybody said, oh, you can read this magazine online, I'd go into the website and think, oh, but it doesn't look like a magazine, it's just flat screen. Or if you go shopping, even with Amazon, it's a very flat experience. So even the other day I was doing my food shopping and I was trying to find out what ingredients this particular product had, and I couldn't work it out. It wasn't logical the way that they had added it to the website. So when I think about the Metaverse, I think about it in this sort of like almost this reality where you can go into. So if you wanted to go shopping, say you were doing your food shopping, you'd actually step into a supermarket with a trolley and you'd be able to pick up goods or products from the aisle and actually hold it in your hand like you do now. So it would feel more real, more tangible. Put it into a trolley and then pay for it, and then that's what arrives at your door. Or if you went furniture shopping, you would be able to do it in such a way that you could actually have your room and you could put the furniture in your room and see what it's gonna look like. It's that sort of like into reality, that you could, it feels more real. That's how I kind of see it. I was thinking about like your websites, would people, instead of having a flat website, they'd have like a room or an office that you could go and visit and step into and speak to someone. So that's how I see it. Why don't you tell them more about the Oculus, because that was just, it was so cool. It was so much fun. It
was phenomenal. So Angela and I decided that we would go and explore together last week into a virtual meeting room space. So off we went. We said, right, well, how are we going to find each other? Well, I'm sure we will when we get there.
I was like, I don't know. I just thought I'd bump into you.
So we did because we're on each other's connection list because it does connect with your Facebook account. And there were a few options for meeting rooms, and we chose the Horizon workrooms. And we also chose a Greek island
Loved it.
as our, as our backdrop, which was beautiful. And it was, I think we said, oh my God, about
I
five
know.
times
It was
before.
just amazing. We don't even have
It
legs,
truly is
that, but it
phenomenal.
was still cool.
It was really great. I mean, so Angela was there, I was there, and Angela could draw on the whiteboard, the interactive board, and you can bring up people that aren't maybe they haven't got the headset yet, but they'll come up on the screen in your meeting room, and you can share websites and PowerPoint presentations and stuff like that. So I expect that this is just the beginning of the virtual experience in terms of meeting rooms. I'm already sold. I want to have a meeting in the metaverse as
Yeah.
soon as everyone's on board and got their 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 sets. I'm like, right,
Yeah.
come on, let's have a meeting in the metaverse. And actually, one of my colleagues, Dr. Kath, did say to me yesterday, I've got Oculus 2. Let's have a meeting. I was like, brilliant. This is the beginning. This is
Yeah.
how it this is how it starts. So we will absolutely do that. And we will, jump on board with the meetings as soon as everyone's got one.
Yeah. Loved it. The only thing that Facebook needs to do though is they need better outfits. Their avatar outfits are just terrible, aren't they? I went through them all the other day and I was like, who designed these? It's like somebody was designing for a grandma or something. The outfits are just terrible.
I've got I've got a yellow Kill Bill suit.
Yeah,
I
you
love it.
do. You do. I found a nice leopard print cardigan yesterday that
Oh,
I'm
did
rocking
you?
at the moment. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to have a cardigan, Angela.
Yeah,
It's
I
how
have to
you
have a
roll.
cardigan. That's how I roll. But I
Absolutely.
could have a flowery shell suit. I did try that on for a look, but no.
Oh, I
Yeah,
mean, if you
no.
really want to push the boat out.
Yeah. I think what we're going to have to do is have meetings and just go through all the outfits and just see
I,
what we look
I
like.
wonder if we can go into each other's wardrobe and go, no, put that on, no, put this on. Again, it's all part
It
of
it's
the
what will
future, I
happen. Yeah.
expect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely. But yeah, I just absolutely love it. And when you first go into it, you go into, I think they call it your homeroom, don't they? And
Yeah.
the default is like this, it's like this sort of veranda you go onto and you can see the mountains and there's this river and the palm trees are swaying in the breeze and there's hot air balloons up in the sky. And oh my god, I just love that. I honestly feel so relaxed when I get into it, when I put the glasses
You
on.
love it, don't you,
I love
Angela?
it. And I can feel as if there's a cool breeze on me. My body temperature goes down as soon as I go into this room. I absolutely love it. And you were talking about an idea. Tell us, when I mentioned this to you, what you said.
Well, as soon as Angela said I could meditate there, I'd be quite happy to be there. I said, right, well, that's already a, a, not a job, but a experience there for therapists.
Yeah.
They've got a ready-made sanctuary
Yeah.
for their clients to turn up to.
Yeah, just great for something if you're a yoga teacher. And this is where the
Hmm.
metaverse gets really exciting, is how um you can design things actually for the metaverse, but then you can design things that then physically come to you from the metaverse. So say for example you were a yoga teacher, you could have your own little store in the metaverse where you sold yoga mats and yoga outfits and water bottles even, and but also then actually do classes in the metaverse. But then what you could have is you could have a scenario where you sold these yoga mats, but they then physically came to your house, and you could do classes that people at home could then do in a similar place like Horizon Workrooms. You could have
You're
a
probably you're
yoga
probably
class.
blowing everyone's mind now,
Yeah,
Angela. It's
but
brilliant, isn't
but
it? Yeah.
it's so amazing. But even for something, if you're an interior designer, you can do interior design, because people are building properties in the metaverse, and you could do interior design in the metaverse, or you can use the metaverse to show people how they could have their houses and their rooms, and do garden design. There's just such a huge amount of scope and
Yeah.
creativity and innovation, that
Hmm.
there's the possibilities are just amazing. So
Yeah,
who
absolutely.
are you working with at the moment that could use this in the future, Cheryl?
Oh,
what
okay.
clients?
Yes. So I'm working with an events company at the moment who are putting on 6 conferences around the world. But who's to say that they can't have an experience in the metaverse?
Yeah,
That's absolutely a must for the future that every events
it just really opens it
team
up, doesn't
will
it?
be thinking, yeah, definitely. And I don't know if we've spoken about London Fashion Week that will be
Yeah,
in the metaverse, and lot. I mean, that's just one example of what's going to happen with events in the future. But yeah, that's going to be huge, absolutely huge. We'll be buying tickets that will be NFTs to events. And again, we won't go into too much detail
we'll
with that
explain in a
right this
future
minute.
episode.
We will. And then, of course, I'm working with my surgeons and doctors, physios. Maybe they will actually see patients in the metaverse and be able to treat them. I mean, in lockdown, I know they did a lot on Zoom, but would they physically be able to touch them? Again, I
Who
don't
knows?
know the answers to this right now,
But
but who's to say?
also you have this scenario where if you're a character in the metaverse, so you would say you are actually gaming and you got shot, maybe if you went to see a metaverse doctor,
Yeah,
you could get a life back or something. You could pay for a visit that would give you an extra life or something. So there's that
yeah, a health
digital,
shot,
yeah,
something.
yeah, there's that digital
Yeah.
world, and then that it
And then
means
there's
that
the real
the
world.
real world, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh, and then I've got a couple of beauty clients at the moment as well. Are we gonna have Botox in the
I bet.
metaverse?
I bet there
Are we
would
gonna
be.
age?
Yeah. Oh,
Do we need our
yeah.
eyelashes done?
I bet there would be people that would pay to go for beauty treatments in the metaverse. Their avatar goes for a facial. I bet there is. Some people have
Yeah,
got.
you did say that.
Yeah,
Do you reckon we'll go for massages and
totally.
yeah?
Totally. Yeah. You could. I bet you could do anything. I bet there are people going to get their nails done. Can you imagine getting really crazy, like
Oh yeah.
long nails in the
Maybe
metaverse?
that's
Or
what I'll be doing in the future,
yeah,
is just designing
art.
nails, not
Yes.
websites anymore.
Yeah. Love it. I love it.
The ideas are endless, aren't they?
Yeah. My brain goes crazy when I think about this stuff.
Brilliant. So before we finish up, Angela, are there any projects that we can go and look for that
Yeah.
you've seen that you find exciting, or because I know you send me lots of stuff. So yeah,
Yes.
please do share what you found
There are a
recently because
couple,
you're
and
a source.
these are actually really like simple ones, but I saw the other day, I think I sent Cheryl the video. There is someone who he's a real estate agent in the metaverse, because property is going for crazy money. I think there was a property sold for about 25 million, wasn't it? $25 million in the metaverse.
Wow, I don't
Property,
know, for money.
yeah. Property is going for crazy money at the moment, and there is somebody whose actual job is a real estate agent in the metaverse. And then there was another
Fantastic.
one. I was seeing a student talking about this, and he comes home from school and he works in Subway, but he works in Subway in the metaverse. So he gets paid to stand in Subway in the metaverse. So it's not, he's making metaverse sandwiches, digital sandwiches. I'm not sure who's eating them. He says it's not very busy. But he does several hours every afternoon after school in the metaverse in Subway Sandwich.
Get
Make
paid more?
No, the
Oh, you
pay
don't
isn't
know.
great. It's only a couple of dollars an hour, but he's probably lying on his bed doing something else. He's probably playing games whilst he's working at
But
Subway.
and does he get paid in ETH or does he get paid in dollars?
Oh,
Like,
I
I've got
don't
so many
know.
questions for
I
you,
don't know.
Angela.
Maybe I should have asked, because I know also, I think this is Meta. I think this is actually Facebook. When you go into some environments in Facebook in the metaverse, and they may just be beta at the moment, so it might not just be the average person that can wander in,
Yeah,
but there are sort of hosts that are there as well, so that will come up to you and say, are you all right, do you want anything? So they actually work for Facebook or Meta in the
oh,
metaverse as a host.
I haven't experienced that yet. Have you?
No, but I think these might be environments they're testing out, or you might need a special
Right.
invite to go into them.
Yeah.
We haven't
It
found them
does feel
yet.
very, no, it does feel very in its infancy, I must admit.
Yes, yeah.
That's not to say it's not amazing. It absolutely is mind-blowing, but it does feel very, very
Yeah. And I think at
infancy.
this stage, it's not to get scared of it, but it's to start to do your own research and not get left behind, and start to think about ideas of how you can evolve your business or what you might want to do. Or even if you're looking to change career, there's so many opportunities in this area that you could look out for. So we just want to give you this ground level introduction, and then for you to try and go away and pique your interest with it and just start to think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Check out the show notes.
Yes.
Well, that's it for part one of What is the Metaverse? We'll be back next week for part two. See you then.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Women of the Metaverse.
You can find all information, links, and people we talked about in the show notes on our website.
If you have enjoyed this podcast, please comment and subscribe.
Join us again in the next episode as we continue this exciting metaverse journey.